I would like to take a few minutes today to discuss what I believe are serious financial issues with the St. Clair County Board of Education. Now, this will take a few minutes, but please bear with me. I believe you'll find this to be very interesting. All the information I'm about to present came from the State Department of Education's website, so feel free to check it out for yourself. So let's take a look. Okay, this is what we're looking at. We're going to compare several other counties and their systems and their spending on general administrative services. Now, general administrative services, 83 to 85% of that is salaries and benefits for the central office. And the rest of it is just other expenses in the central office. But all of general administrative services is pretty much the central office. Now, what I'm trying to do is show the changes that have been made and why we feel like it's so far out of hand now. Okay, what we're doing here is comparing Shelby County and Baldwin County, Madison County, and on down, I'll show you in a minute, St. Clair and Blount. 5 school systems. And all this is based on, this chart was made from the State Department of Education's website and is based on the financial profile report for the year 2008-2009. So anybody can go on there and look at this. I just took it and put it together and put it to scale on an Excel chart so you could see a little better of what we're talking about. So let's start with Shelby County. They have $296 million in revenue and 39 schools in their system. Baldwin County has $289 million in revenue and 45 schools in their system. Now let's scroll down. Madison County has $198 million in revenue and 28 schools in their system. St. Clair County has 19 schools in their system and $102 million at this point. Now keep in mind, $102 million is probably the highest we've been. Right now, we're only at $71 and $72 million. So we're $30 million less now than what we were at this time. And Blount County had $79 million in revenue. Now, let's go back to the first one. Shelby County has $296 million in revenue, and they spent 1.3% of that for their general administrative services, which is $3,848,000. Baldwin County had $289 million in revenue. They spent 2% of that for their general administrative services, and that's $5,780,000. Madison County had $198 million in revenue, and they spent 2.1% of that for general administrative services, which cost $4,558,000. Now, St. Clair County only has $102 million in revenue. Now, have you noticed Madison County and Baldwin County? Madison County has $198 million, which is almost double. Baldwin and Shelby County each almost have $200 million more in revenue than we do. A lot bigger school systems. And they're running, Shelby County, in my opinion, is running the most efficient at $3,848,000 for their general administrative services. Now, let's take a look at where we are on general administrative services. 3.6%. Now, we hadn't always been at that, and I'll show you that in a minute. And Blount County is at 2.4. So for that $102 million, we spent $3,672,000 in general administrative service. And the only thing we can compare that with on this chart would be Shelby County. And they spent $3,848,000. But Shelby County has $200 million more in revenue than we have. A lot bigger school system. You all know how big Shelby County is. There is no reason in this world we should be at $3,672,000 in general administrative services. Even Blount County, and they're right around where we are today, has a 2.4%. We're still over 3% today. is $1,896,000. So now I'm going to drop this back so you can see the scale. Now this, well, I can't even get it back far enough because of the size of revenue these people have. Let me go on back down a little bit more, 75%. That's the scale. That's the difference in the revenue. You can see how much more those people have than we do, but we spend the same amount, almost within $170-something thousand of Shelby County. That's completely outrageous. Now let's take a look at another chart. Now this chart is also based on the same website. This chart shows St. Clair County only. Now let's just take a look at where we were in 99 at 2%. We went to 2.3, 2.4, back down to 1.7, 2%, 1.7, and 2.2% in 2005. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. We stayed right around there. Now, let's take a look at when Jenny Seals came into office the very first year. That red, 2006, 1.9%. That's where we were in the beginning when she started. Don't understand why she changed. As a matter of fact, she should have dropped that to 1.3. Just like Shelby County can do. They have a lot more money than we have. Could be spending a lot more in general administrative services, but they're running efficiently. They're putting the money in the schools. That's why their system is so much better than we are. We're a small system. We should be running effectively as a small system, and we should be putting most of the money in teaching, schools, aids, whatever's necessary so that our children get the full benefit of our tax dollars. Now, let's take a look at the next year. Jenny Seals shot us up to 2.9%. There's the whole chart. Now look what happened the next year. She went on up to 3.6%. We went from 1.9 to 3.6. Now that's completely outrageous in my opinion. Now let's take a look at this of where we would have actually been had we had been saving money and running efficiently. This is where we are currently. For 2010, we're at 3.1%, and we spend $2,220,000 in general administrative services. We only have $71 million in that year. We don't have the 102 anymore. We have 71, but we're still way up there. She cut a lot of teachers and a lot of lunchroom and a lot of bus routes and a lot of all things that affect the quality of education for our children without textbooks. But she left that number up there. She's paying those big salaries up at the central office. If we'd have run at 1.3% like Shelby County was, we would have only been at $929,000 instead of $2,200,000. We would have saved $1,290,000. And I'm sure a lot of you out there could say, hey, well, I know the schools could have used that money. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed in some of the schools that aren't being fixed. There's a lot of textbooks still that I can't believe they forgot to order before the school year started, because we have heard complaints from some people that said their children made, for the first time ever, certain grades lower than what they've been making. And they said that one of the reasons they thought was because of the fact that they didn't have a book to take home. Let's take a look at Baldwin County. 2% in Baldwin County, we would have saved, if we'd run at 2%, we'd have saved $790,000. Madison County, we would have saved $719,000. Now, keep in mind, these two that are highlighted in blue were also on that other chart. And these two highlighted in blue can claim one thing that we can't claim, which is really affecting the kids, is both of these systems passed 100% of their goals. Now, I'm talking about not just certain schools. The whole system passed 100% of their goals and made AYP. In Blount County, it was at 2.4%. If we'd have been at 2.4%, we'd have spent $1,715,000. We'd have saved $500,000. But let's say we stayed where Jenny Seals started in her first year, we would have spent $1,357,000 and saved $862,000. So she went up pretty much $800,000 in central office support and salaries and benefits and all the goodies that go along with being up there. Now, I know there's a lot of other people in a lot of other areas that could have used that money. We could have saved some lunchroom people. We could have saved some bus routes and bus people. We could have saved some maintenance people and whatever involved there. But we could have saved teachers and aides so that we would have everything as far as our tax dollars we would want to go back into the schools, not in padding the pockets at the central office. And as Kevin Bacon said in the movie, A Few Good Men, these are the facts, and they're undisputed. So once again, my name is Clay Cato, and on behalf of the Coalition for School Improvement, we'd like to say we've got serious problems, and we need serious people to solve them. Thank you.